Hi there, what we're looking at today is a game called Penetrator. It was a game that ran on the ZX Spectrum way back in the 80s. I played it and I've always wanted to make it. It really is the same as the Scramble arcade game. You fly your spaceship through these caverns and tunnels trying to get to the end. Though the Commander X16 is a new machine that's being developed, it's like a supercharged Commodore 64. So you can see there's a 1 and 2 player mode, there's a training mode, there's a level editor, and you can load other landscapes and you can save the landscapes from the level editor. You can also add play with joysticks and so on. So this is what the game looks like. It's double buffered high-res graphics, 160 pixels wide, 2 bits per pixel, so you get 4 colors at any time on the screen. I wrote all of this in 6502 assembly language using the CC65 toolset, CA65 specifically, and all the code is of course on GitHub. So this game blew me away when I saw it in the 80s because of the user-generated content, which we will look at in a moment. But you can see it's basically Scramble. You're flying through and you're shooting and bombing away. You can have 2 bombs at any one time, as many bullets as you can fit on the screen. And then the colors change when you get to the next stage. So you can see we're in stage 2. The 2-player mode is alternate players taking turns. I'm just going to speed this up and you will see that I eventually make it through to the very end with a life or 2 to spare. So very, very similar to Scramble, but a lot of fun nonetheless. Very, very difficult. I could never ever make it through when I played the original ZX Spectrum version, but I am much better at it now. I guess I've played it quite a lot since making it. So we're in the semi-ultimate level here, just about to get to the final stage. And you can see some of the missiles have turned into these monsters now, and that'll happen to more and more levels. And here we are at the final stage. And if you look to the right, you'll see that you cannot go any further, so you have to get a bomb onto those nukes, which I managed to do. And you get a 1,000-point bonus for this and this big wow screen. The one thing missing from my game that was in the other game is fireworks, but anyway, you now have to fly backwards. So you're playing the exact same levels, but you're flying home. Still scrolling to the right, or looks like you're flying to the right, but it is actually going backwards. As I said, there were fireworks in the other game, and there was also a demonstration mode, which I didn't add. But eventually you will die, and when you do, you get a chance to enter your name if you've made it into the top 5 high score tables, and you will see the name sits here on this screen at the very top, and there's room for 4 more names underneath it side by side. So the next thing we'll take a look at is the training level. It is exactly the same as the game, except you get to choose which stage you want to start at. So here I've chosen to start at stage 4, and this allows you to get to stage 5 where you can practice bombing the nukes. But other than that, this is basically just a game with endless lives. And once you've chosen a stage to start at, you can't really change, you just play that. But I'm flying in training mode all the way. I got to the wow and I'm flying home. So as you can see, I am just about to crest the hill here. So in the original game, there was no reward for this really, no fanfare, but I decided to add something because it's hard work getting all the way home. So you get 1,000 points and it welcomes you home. So let's take a look at the level editor. Here's the help screen that shows all the commands. You can see in the top right it says brush and there's terrain and enemies. You can zip around by skipping to the stages very quickly. So let's just make some changes here. We'll just make this thing a flat top and then erase this little guy, add some other enemies in. All very, very simple. I'm in the enemy brush and I'll switch to the terrain brush and I'll add some terrain at the top here just to make it some sort of an entrance way. You'll notice that the game starts here with 2 radars and 3 missiles, and you'll see why I'm mentioning that. When the game starts, they will not be there. Flatten this out and let's just make it a tunnel and maybe flatten out the top a little bit as well. There you go, that looks pretty good. Back to the beginning, just see, yep, that's good. Exit and go into the game and play. And you will see that those first few things are missing. That's because nothing gets populated on the scroll in, and that's to give you a fair chance so that you don't start the game with a missile right underneath you and it's just an endless death cycle. So everything works as it should and is normal, and there is the new level. And it's very, very easy to make levels and change them, and that's, as I said before, the thing that blew me away about this game. So I can save this level, and earlier I saved the beginning level as original, so I can load that, and you can just see that here's the original level back, and I will change that to the level I just created, and there it is. So you can make levels to your heart's content and keep playing them. And that is Penetrator, a game by Philip Mitchell and Beam Software in 1982. It was so much fun to work on this Commander X16, a great machine, really fun to program, and I had a blast. Thank you very much for watching.